All right, we are set and recording. Who is excited to be here tonight? Happy Wednesday. A lot of you are up bright and early in the morning, and for some of you, it is Thursday because you guys are from all over the world right now. Well, don't you worry. We're going to be efficient and you will learn so much. It will be 1,000 times worth it. Okay. So you're here because tonight we're talking about the 10K map, how to earn 10 grand a month consistently. Not about hitting it once, never doing it again. We actually want to do it over and over and over again. So that way we can plan our future a lot better. So I'm going to get into it really quick. I have a tendency to want to keep talking. I would love to chat with you guys forever, to tell you the truth. And some people are having some sound issues. So if Molly or Leilani, who's on, if you could chat with Tom, that would be great. Thursday afternoon for Melissa. Wow. Go you guys. The point, though, is I don't want you to be in information overload, especially if it's 1 o'clock in the morning for you. And I want to make sure that what we're doing, you actually implement. Okay. I don't think we need more information. I definitely think we need more implementation. Okay. So the way that I run any of my webinars in general is I'll give you action items and then I make you at the very end choose one, at least one. Now you can go above and beyond and do more if you'd like, but at least one. Okay. So what that means is I need you to be paying attention. Okay. So the goal tonight is how to consistently make 10 grand a month, but ideally without using more effort, hopefully less than it takes to make $1,000 a month. Okay, so I know you guys sometimes feel like you're banging your head against the wall. I know I work with a lot of 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs, but literally this is not rocket science, even though sometimes it feels like that. That's why you're here tonight. We're going to go over the pieces that I've seen over and over and over again. All right, so in case you don't know who I am, this is me, right? I've been in tons of press. I also have a book with a major publisher, blah, 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 blah. I've been a business coach for over 10 years. I've been working with 6 and 7 entrepreneurs for an extremely long time. I've been doing mastermind groups, and I've just been in this game for such a long period of time that I've seen the ins and outs of the way things work. I see what works and I see what doesn't work. Not only that, though, and you guys probably know about this because these are all my people, is that I've interviewed over 400 now successful millionaire entrepreneurs. And that's not, just made a 7-figure company. It's net worth wise. So they have to actually keep the money that they make, right? So net, not just gross. You could make $1 million and spend $1,000,001 and you have a negative net worth. And that's not what we're looking for. What I try and do, because I love data so much, I'm trying to take what works for my clients right now, right? What trends, definitely, I do like them. I just don't think they should hone in on a business. And what works for millionaires, my friends, and many of the people I interview, if you've listened to any of the things that I've done, and then create a framework around that. So it's less about one author that's a guru that says all this stuff, and it's more about the amalgam of all the different types of people. Does that make sense? All right. And of course, as we go through, let me know if you have any questions. But I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I'm a mom too. Those are my 2 kiddos. That was just us at NASA a few weeks ago. They're the most important thing in my life. They're actually downstairs with my personal assistant at the moment. So just to make sure they're not using the internet at the moment, that's Jet and Finley. And at the very beginning, I used to only work 15 or 20 hours a week because I wanted to be there with the kids. I was in a corporate job before that I did not like. It made good money, but that's the whole point of Eventual Millionaire. It is not about the money. It is about enjoying the life that you have and then making money as a side note, right? I think making money is extremely important, and making 10 grand changes everything for you for sure. That being said, I also know that those 2 kiddos are more important than any of that. Okay, so I get it though, because life can be nuts. I started my business when they were born. Bad idea. I've learned so much along the way. And I see many of my clients and entrepreneurs really go crazy at the beginning, just banging their head against the wall trying to figure this out. Life can kind of be insane sometimes. But I want you to know that after banging your head against the wall, and all my clients, right, as they come through, we figured out that it does take hard work and mistakes, but you can learn from others. Okay? You really do not have to learn the hard way, quote unquote. Definitely you'll have lessons, don't get me wrong, as we all go through, we learn. Okay? But when you look at what other people are doing, and not just what they tell you on the outside, but what they're actually doing, and they're honest about it all, you can save yourself so much time and heartache and headache and all that fun stuff. Okay. And I did this in the middle of nowhere in Maine, by the way, in a town of 2,000 people. So you have no excuses. We have the internet. I know we have people from all around the world at the moment, but it doesn't matter where you are. I had a brand new baby and no sleep when I started to. And so many of my clients, because we're a little crazy, 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs especially, they're like, I can do it all right now, right? And so when you're going through, you make mistakes. But please understand, as we're going through step by step, that I've done this. This is for you. Okay. And I'm in the weirdest niches. So I'm used to working with entrepreneurs, small business owners, coaches, solopreneurs. You probably have a really small team right now if you're not making 10 grand yet, but you guys have very similar issues, right? Generating high quality leads, building your email list. It seems like it's taking forever. Closing ideal clients or customers, or finding where they exist. And you kind of feel like you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. So you don't have time for fun or family or the stuff that really is important. And that's my mission. I want you to have more time to be able to do the stuff that really is important. I know when I have clients and they sign up, I'm like, I want your wife or husband or kids to love me more. Because if I can do that, then that means that I'm doing my job. Of course, I can make you more money, but I want them to actually be happy. So they actually see their father or their mother or their significant other. Okay. And like I said, I'm in so many different niches, you have no idea. I'm in the timber. These are all current clients, right? The timber industry, mud jacking, organic chemistry, Linux, colored contacts. I have seen the spectrum over the years. So whatever questions you have at the end for me too, throw them my way. Okay. I will be able to pretty much just about answer just about everything, or be able to find you the answer if not. So, but first, before we even get into that piece, I want to ask you a question. I want to evaluate where you are right now. A, so I can tailor this and what we're doing. But B, so I can really understand. Well, there's an echo thing. I also have ADD. So Leilani, whenever you text me, I will be paying attention to that and not this, just so you know. So when I ask a question, I want you to actually be completely honest. No, you're anonymous on this thing, right? Because we're going to try and get to it as if it is a one-on-one coaching session and I am just chatting with you. So we're going to ask a couple series of questions and it will help me understand where you're at and what you might need most. Okay. So if your goal is actually 10K, do you know what is causing you right now not to hit the 10K a month mark? And I want you to post it in the questions box. We've got a bunch of new people piling on too. You guys are a little late. So if your goal is 10,000, which most likely it is, even if it's 20 or 30,000, I want you to actually pay attention and go, why have I not hit that 10K mark right now? Can you actually pinpoint the problem? Need more sales, keep going. All right. So what is that thing that's stopping you? I'm going to have you keep going and say that right now. There's other people doing it all over the place. And sometimes that's really annoying, right? And you might even be working 10 times harder than they are, but you're getting small results. Before you speed up, you have to slow down. Okay, so we've got a ton of them coming in. Perfection. Ooh, imposter syndrome. Ooh, finding more leads, overwhelm, procrastination, lack of focus, trying to do too many things at once. Oh my gosh, I know this. Can't seem to close leads. Lack of execution. Oh yeah, not enough high-paying clients in a small town. Oh my gosh, Joel, I know exactly what that's like. Again, small town in Maine. Good thing you have the internet. All right, not being proactive, don't have a list yet, not really sure exactly who to target. Oh my gosh, this is perfect. See, I wrote all this stuff on the other ones. Not enough group clients to book travel. What industries are you guys in? Unable to find suitable customers. Ooh, consistent marketing, more clients. Oh gosh, there's so many. I don't think I can go through them all. Day jobs. Yes, I totally understand. I've helped so many people quit their day jobs, and it's one of my favorite things ever because I know what that means. Not enough people, lack of focus, closing clients in my ideal range. Yes. The eye care business. I actually have a client in the eye care business right now also. In what way are in the so we have e-com company on one side and I have an optometrist on another one, both one-on-one clients. All right, so there's way too many, but I'm looking through ADD shiny object syndrome. Oh yeah, totally get it. I literally have ADD. Like I said just a second ago when my assistant texted me about an echo. And if you guys hear an echo, definitely post because I want to make sure you can actually hear me clearly. Consistent revenue. Oh my gosh, these are awesome. Leilani, I want to keep track of all of these also so we can go back through. I can't even scroll through fast enough. Oh no. All right, so I'm going to ask you another question. And these are all the ones, of course, right? Not enough time, not enough money, chasing tactics. You guys feel the exact same way, which I love. Okay. What I want to do, though, is actually ask you one more question. Well, there's going to be a couple. Because to me, it's not just chasing tactics. It's not just going after what has to be a trend, Instagram ads or bots, or I'm sure you've heard 1,000 things, or your Facebook feed is full of gosh darn messaging bots. I tried it a long time ago. I felt weird. I know that they work. I totally understand that they work. And I want you to start thinking about that one problem that you talked about, right? The one thing that you just posted. Some people are, I'm not a great manager, internal process, lack of good employees, right? So imagine that same problem. And I want you to actually think of a word that will embody the same problem if it stayed the next 3 months, the next 6 months, the next 12 months. Okay, so imagine if nothing changed and you were still stuck in that same spot. And I want you to come up with a word, like a feeling. I've done these webinars before and people are like, oh my gosh, don't make me go there. But it's that going there that is going to make you actually take action, right? Feeling like a failure, stagnation, laziness. Oh yeah. I want to quit. Yes. Disappointment, exhausting, scared, desperation, angst, terrible, lame, depressing, anger, hunger, frustration, empty. Man, see, I don't want you guys to feel these things, okay? This is why I do what I do. Because I don't, and I know if you don't get the right direction, you can feel like crap. And my goal is to make you feel better. We only do things so we feel better. We only want lots of money for the freedom of the feeling of that freedom or whatever that thing is that you really feel or want to feel. Okay? So don't worry, I'll pull you out of the abyss. But I need you to feel that pain because people don't take action. So tonight, I make you feel that pain so you can actually commit to these things that you really want to do. Because the only thing that is going to change your life is you. So now, imagine, what would the future look like if you could create 10 grand a month every single month without using any extra effort that it takes to do about 1,000? Okay, and I want you to feel that and think about that. What does it look like for you? What does more time to travel mean? What is hiring a team so you don't have to do the crap that you don't want to? Or if somebody said they were looking for employees, what if hiring a recruiting company so you don't have to look for employees? How amazing is that going to be? Right? Spending more time with your family or your partner. That stuff matters. Having a weekly massage. I just got my assistant a massage today, and we got our clients last week a massage too. That stuff, that's the best feeling almost in the world. Relief, happy dance to the bank. I love it. Relief, breathable, awesome, freedom. Time for my son and myself with joy and relaxation. Freedom, I love this. Worry-free. Oh, I can spend time with the kids and their schedules. I get it. I pick my kiddos up at 3. Well, not today. We had a babysitter because I was prepping for this webinar. But in general, I pick them up. I bring them in. I have the chance to hang out with them all the time. Time for photography, do a job I love, fulfilling, incredible. Okay, I can't go through all these, but I think that matters so much. There's a reason why you want to work hard for the results and that feeling of having the time and the space to not worry. And so this is the thing. I don't want to talk about whatever that next silver bullet thing is. I think that stuff is kind of crappy. A lot of the times they don't know what your business model is. They're like, Facebook ads will work for everyone. No, it doesn't. It doesn't always work for everyone. Just so you know. I know. Okay. But I do want you to know that this is about making money. Okay, so the things that I'm going over, I work on with my one-on-one clients that pay me a ridiculous amount of money. So please, even if you're like, oh, I've heard that before, okay, then do it. Gary, old clients are on here. Oh my gosh, you guys make me so happy. I love being live. So as people are still more people coming in, which I absolutely adore, I want to go over the 3 strategies that millionaires use to create that consistent revenue. And just to get your hopes up now, just to give you an example, this is Joey. I don't know, I've posted his testimony a few times, but it's really awesome to hear his trajectory because you guys are eventual millionaires, right? So it's not just stopping at 10K. At the very beginning, now Hustlers is the program I'm going to be talking about later. That we're reopening finally after a year. But Joey had joined Hustlers and he was making about $500 a month. And he's in animation niche, right? So he's amazing motion animation. His website is called schoolofmotion.com, by the way. He's super awesome. He joined Hustlers, and in 3 months, he ended up making 10 grand on 2 webinars at the end of the program in 2 days. He actually sold out the first webinar, and he's like, what do? I go, do another webinar. So he made 10 grand on his very first program. Then he ended up making 50,000 the next month. He's been on my podcast before a couple times. Now, or last year, he actually joined Millionaire Masters, which is my 6-figure mastermind program. And last year he made over 1.2 million. This year he's on track to do even more. Okay. So please understand when I say that especially if you have mindset issues or something like that, that it can be done because he had mindset issues. Everybody does, right? As we grow, we push, right? And then we adjust and then we push and we adjust. So don't worry. Your first level 1 in this video game is 10 grand a month. But just so you know, there's so many more levels that you can go to. Okay, that's why I talk about this. So tonight, let's go over that 10K map. So this is the 10K map. Now, step 1 and step 2 are really more about validation and having the core business model. Now, I need you guys to have a business model because we're going to be talking about actually leveling up a business that already exists instead of creating a brand new business. I will refer you to someone else if you need to start a brand new one. Okay. But that's why step 1 and 2 are definitely important. We're just not covering that today, as you can hear my pup in the background. Aw, his name's Copper. The millionaire mindset, we only need enough, right? Like I said, it will grow. So we need enough to make sure that you guys can sell whatever this thing is that you're selling enough. So a lot of the people that join Hustlers are $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, depending. Okay. And we need to have a product market fit enough and those foundational sales skills to have sold something. Okay. Then we're going to talk about the trifecta, and we're going to go into all of these in detail. So don't worry. Number 3 is delegation. Number 4 is marketing message. And number 5 is distribution. I know it sounds super boring, but this boringness will make you more money. Okay, people? So please listen in. What I want you to understand is that this foundational stuff is important now and important at 6 figures and important at 7 figures. Because if you can actually get this to work in this cycle, you will have such an easier time leveraging what you have. Okay. So again, if you're on the beginning stages and you don't have a business yet, sorry, this is not going to be as helpful. You can hop off now, send us an email at contact@eventualmillionaire.com, and we will go over some recommendations for you. But for right now, if you're still with me, I don't want you to fall asleep. So if you actually have a business where you've sold at least like 10 things, say yes. And feel free to say no if you're still sticking with us. I want to make sure that we're all talking. Yes, there's a bazillion. Wish you guys could see how fast these things come in. So impressive. Yes. Almost. So close. Service businesses still count, totally. All right, perfect. So I'm preaching to the choir here. That's what I want. All right. So, and I did a retreat last week with our 6-figure masterminds, Millionaire Masters. And so I'm losing my voice also. So please bear with me, guys. All right. So we're going to go over strategy 1. I love this quote. With each new hire, my business grows exponentially. Strategy number 2, spend little to no time selling your service when you get that marketing message correct. And strategy number 3, spending less time marketing and more time building an authentic community. You guys follow me, and I love it. You have no idea how amazing emails I get. I'm so grateful for that from people all around the world that I've never even met before. It's insane. So number one, we're going to dive in. Feel free to ask questions as we go through this, okay? I can't necessarily answer them all as we go, but what we will do is my assistant Leilani is taking all these notes and will ask me at the end, okay? And if I can, go ahead and ask as we go, so that way I can see it. So if I can answer it really quick, I will let you guys know. So you probably heard about delegating before. This is where you're like, okay, Jamie, I've heard this, right? Time is money is a quote by Benjamin Franklin. But if you can duplicate your time, you can duplicate the money. The great thing about delegation is that it's exponential. And at the beginning, of course, depending on how much you charge, but you're most likely doing a ton of low-level tasks that you really should be outsourcing and delegating. And unfortunately, you might suck at it too, unless this is like your main day job, right? As you're going through, and this is actually an amazing quote. This is from Gary Keller. He is created Keller Williams. He wrote the book, The One Thing. He said, you are the 5 hires away from being a millionaire. And I'm not saying you have to be a millionaire right this second, but if this is most important or one of the most important things you could ever do, then learning how to delegate properly is going to be huge. And getting, in general, somebody else at a lower pay rate to be doing what you want is important. Okay. And you've probably heard that before, but I want you to actually do it. Okay. And we're going to go over action steps in just a second on how to do that. The sooner we start, the sooner you get better at it, the sooner we can level up more. And I'm sure it's hard for an entrepreneur to give up control, because I understand I was a control freak, or you're really worried about cash flow, because if we are having these up and down months, you don't know which month's going to be great and which month isn't. You'd be like, Jamie, I'm not really sure. And then you hold on tight. But what I can tell you with 100% certainty, there are people that are out there that are actually way better at those things than you, control freaks. Leilani is so much better than me at so many things, especially with details. And the sooner you figure out those strengths and start to only work on those, the more leverage you will actually have. Okay. And you'll have more time, right? Most millionaires that I interview say they wish they had delegated sooner, because it's a skill set that you can't really ramp up extremely quickly. Sometimes you're not very good at it. Okay. Oh yeah, we have tons of questions. All right, cool. So I'm going to give you the action item, and as we're going through, I can answer some of these, because some of you guys can write some of this stuff down. We're not going to have time to go over and do all of this. I actually do implementation webinars with people also, so that way you get things done while I'm here with you, slapping you around, so you can ask questions as we go. Well, unfortunately, we don't have enough time to go over that because I'm trying to give you a bunch while I'm on the call with you. But I will give you the action items, and we'll try and answer as many questions as we can in the time that we have, okay? So I know time tracking, woohoo, right? This is the thing that I make every single one of my clients do at the beginning. They hate me at first. Literally, they hate me, because what I want you to do is time track for 3 to 5 days, every single thing you do in your business. Dun, dun, dun. Because we can't actually understand A, what you're doing, B, what to get you to stop doing, C, what to get you to level up doing, so you can make that extra 10 grand, right? Extra. Make more, way more. So I do this with my 6-figure guys. I do this with my 7-figure guys. When we're looking at what you have to do, we have to assess where you are. So we have a cool little, spreadsheet. Woohoo! You can just write down the task name. So I wrote a couple examples here. It's really about what you're specifically doing. These are sort of generic ones. Write a blog post, content creation, scheduling clients, research, project management, design, servicing of clients, etc., etc. Okay. So when we're looking at what those are, of course, you're going to have whatever your service is or your product or something that's a little bit more specific to you. And what I want you to do is have a humongous list, okay? Then what we're going to do, and you might have heard this before, but it really, really, really works, okay? We're going to make a list of that task and then put a dollar amount of how much that task would be worth per hour. And maybe emails like $15 or $20 an hour now. Scheduling, I put 10, but depending on who you can get and how much cash you have. But stuff like content generation or copywriting or sales or something like that would be a lot more. And I want you to just put a dollar amount next to it. Okay, so this is the action item if you choose to accept it later, but I want to make sure you guys understand exactly what it is so you can actually do it. Feel free to send it to me. I care about this stuff, okay? You can use Toggl, TOGGL.com for time tracking. I make my clients use that one. So you just got exactly what they paid a lot of money for. And some people when they're having questions, everybody's like, what if I don't have a lot of cash? It's hard to find the right people and how much they cost, right? At the very beginning, I used Fancy Hands. I don't know if you guys have heard it. It's per task delegation on admin kind of stuff. So you can, spend $40 a month, or I think it's like $100 a month, and it's only $3 to $5 a task. So it's less about trying to have, a full VA schedule and give them enough stuff. And it's more about actually getting you good at describing what you need for delegation and getting actually good at the skill set of what delegation is. Does that make sense to everybody so far? We also have in that spreadsheet, feel free to put a category. This is how you figure out who to hire next. So if you already have an admin, or if you don't have an admin, get a VA or admin, right? Because that will clear up a lot of those tasks. But if you already have an admin and you're going, okay, well, what am I doing? This is the exact same process. You go, okay, what am I currently doing right now? What do I not have to be doing? And how many hours do we have that can fill this specific role? And you can see how much time they're taking. Okay. So if you're like, shoot, I only have 4 hours a week of writing, then just hire a contractor. You don't need an employee. Does that make sense? I love it. All right. I'm pretty sure that we have clients in Spain and all over the place, so I'm pretty sure they work internationally too. Does anyone ask your questions as we go through. So I see the whole bunch as I'm scrolling through, and I want to make sure while I take a sip of water, and then we'll move on to step number 2. All right. Step number 2. Something that is glossed over way too much. A lot of people talk about marketing, but it seems to be very focused on the tactical side. So when I talk about marketing message refined, I want you to find out if your marketing efforts are working, but also will it scale? There's a lot of tweaking that comes into this when you try and go to a lot more one-to-many than one-to-one. Okay. And if you're already selling people on a small scale, which all of you pretty much said yes, there's a reason. People are paying you money for a reason. And we need to figure out exactly what that is. Otherwise, we won't be able to leverage it via copy or writing, or however we're going to do it, if it's webinar or whatever, to leverage it to larger and larger audience. It doesn't have to be online digital marketing kind of stuff, but it's scale, right? So even if we're doing mailers, I am so old school. I do a lot of that stuff too. It doesn't always have to be online. Okay. So hopefully you guys know what this is, but if you don't, that's the question I want you to ask. Why does someone buy from you? They could buy from anyone else. Do you guys know the answer to this? Actually, you know what? Write it in the box. If you know why somebody buys from you and not from somebody else, this is where you're like, oh crap, I don't know. Or maybe like, my wonderful personality. I mean, they say that for thought leaders, but I don't know. Trust. Ooh, tons of them are saying trust, which is funny. What? The other people don't have trust? How are you showing trust more than everyone else? Ooh, good. I like the honesty. I do not. Nope, I have no idea. Ooh, they already know me. So that's an issue, Sheila, right? So if it's only for people that know you, man, you got to know a lot of people in order to sell to them. I'm different. That's not, we need to go way more. Ooh, crazy reviews online, Julie. Of course, because you've already worked with me, and you know, I'm kidding. Because you do. You have an amazing kick butt stuff. I remember going over your website review. Our reputation and results. Excellent service. Okay. Wow, you guys, a lot of you do. Now, what's funny is when we're going through some of these things, sales price, we stand out. Ooh, faith-based. I like it. When we start figuring out these pieces, it will start to become your key differentiator. And this is something that comes up over and over and over again. There are so many competitors now, right? With the internet, even if you have an offline, I have clients in the offline space too, but they pop up really quickly with franchises and everything. And so what we really need to do is make sure that marketing message is refined enough so they understand why they buy from you, right? Not just you. You're like, oh, they trust me more. Like, okay, well, why? Like, why do they trust you more? Well, if they know you, that's hard to replicate. But otherwise, if they're like, oh, we had tons and tons of reviews, that's different, right? The more reviews you have, the more credibility we have, the easier it is to leverage. Okay. And that key differentiator, just for an example, so you guys know, I'm from Maine, right? Originally. So LL Bean, I don't know if you guys have heard of LL Bean, but one of their key differentiators, because they're very Maine-like company, they have backpacks and hiking equipment and canoes and stuff like that, but they have crazy guarantees. They've been in business a long time, and they literally will let you return anything for really any reason. So what's crazy is that they've become known for that, even though they have very similar stuff as any other place. Okay, and what I want you to do is I actually really want you to understand from the buyer's perspective why they're picking you, if their key differentiator is enough for them to pick you. Because some of the stuff you guys said, I'm just being honest, I'd be like, yeah, we can find a lot of companies that are very similar to that. Does that make sense? So when they're faced with a bazillion Yelp reviews, hopefully you have more, but everybody else right now is going through and trying to get the same thing. So we want to know what that key differentiator is, that in our marketing messages, when we show to your ideal customer, they're like, oh my gosh, they sound amazing, right? They have all of the credibility and the track record and the experience, and they can find out that in 2 seconds, and they're speaking my language. So what I want you to do, if you choose to accept this action item, I'm actually going to give you 2 action items, depending on where you're at, because I know each business is in a different spot. I want you to pick one happy customer. You've heard of ideal customer, avatar, that sort of stuff. I want you to think of one happy customer and think of what specifically drives them, right? And pick one that is good at paying. Don't just pick one that's happy and you like working with. Make sure they have lots of money that can pay you easily so you're not chasing somebody on this. And then I want you to talk to them. Dun, dun, dun. So this is the foundational piece that, again, I cannot harp on enough. I interviewed a guy named Jeff Hoffman. He's the founder of Priceline, billion-dollar company, right? He's amazing. And not on the podcast that I had with him, but when I spoke on stage at Freedom Fastlane here in Austin, and he was telling stories in the back. And one of the things he told was how important talking to your customers are. Actually, real talking, not just Facebook ads like Tim Ferriss did. Well, he didn't do Facebook ads, but do some ads and find out what they want. Actually talk to them on the phone and get the language that they have. Oh, I love it. Tyrone's like, what if you're on Amazon? You can still find your customers. I know it's harder. I have tons of Amazon guys as clients. It's harder to get their email addresses for sure, but you can totally send a survey and then get their phone number and hop on the phone with them. Because the language makes all the difference in the world. And when we're refining that marketing message, I'll finish telling you the Jeff Hoffman story, because it was incredible to me how important it was to him, even when the company was bigger. Because it's a cycle. Remember how I said at the beginning, this trifecta is a cycle? You have to keep going back. Okay, so he did the research and the due diligence to make everything easier in the long run. So because Priceline, their avatar is moms, because going on family vacations, that was the main target that they were going after, they end up talking to the moms, and they had them walk them through a typical day, because they wanted to know when they were more receptive to marketing. And they found something completely different, because they were doing sort of a spray and pray marketing thing. And this is why we talk to customers, because if you're just randomly trying a whole bunch of stuff, it makes it a lot harder, right? Finding out and talking to them and going, oh, where do you actually hang out online? Oh, these 3 places. This is what Jeff did. So Jeff walked through their day and was like, okay, so you got your kiddos. If we do like an ad, and he didn't say this, but they used to do ads on TV in the morning when everybody's home and they're getting ready for school in the morning. And the moms are like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing anything at that point besides running around like a crazy person trying to get the kiddos ready for school. He's like, oh, okay, then what do you do? Then they're like, oh, well, then we go do errands or we go to work, and they started going through all those things of what they typically do. And he's like, okay, there's no way. Where can we put our marketing message in front of these people? What he found, which saved him a ton of money in marketing dollars, by the way, was that they were really receptive to marketing messages while they're waiting for their kiddos for school. So you're like in the school pickup line. And what they did is they put ads on the radio that was only at certain times of the day and only on the radio stations that the type of moms that they listened to. How crazy is that? Literally from like 2 to 4, something like that in the afternoon. So they could hone in all their marketing dollars onto something like that. Does that make sense to everybody? I love it. I love all your comments. Yes. Okay, good. This is why this is critical. Because when you start trying to level up these pieces, it is so much easier for them to go, oh, the treasure's buried over here. Just go dig it up. Instead of randomly walking around, not knowing where the X is. Okay. And that's what a lot of people feel like when they're dealing with marketing in general. Okay. So I'm going to go over a quick little story from Nick. This is Nicholas Webb. He is a mentor of mine, a futurist. He wrote a book called What Customers Crave, which is also a great book. He has literally like a bazillion patents. But he was coming out with a new company, and it was a toy company. And his specific main competitor was Lego. Sorry, I've stepped on way too many Legos. I'm getting a little... So what was funny is when he decided to come up with that, like, who the heck takes on Lego? Like, they're so huge. It's really hard to get a cut and piece of that market. So he was like, you can't out Lego Lego. He goes, Lego is in the business of selling terminal toys. In other words, toys you buy, you put them together, and there's a termination point. They're a puzzle. So their philosophy, most likely, is to drive consumption. And what they did when they were trying to figure out their key differentiator was they wanted to be completely the opposite. They wanted to sell a product that was going to last in that family for years and years and years and have a real name. Okay, so that's how he chose the difference, right? It's also from a huge passion. Now, the hard thing is, and I'll tell you the rest of this story as we're going through, the hard thing is you're still a random company that has a key differentiator. And you're like, I'm better because we don't try and get your money over and over and over again, but everybody loves Lego. So stay tuned and I will tell you the rest of that in a second. But what's tough is you're like, okay, that's great, Jamie, but this stuff takes time. Talking to these people, figuring out their message, like it's going to take some refinement. It's not a do in a week kind of thing or do in a day. So that way, thanks for the action item kind of thing. So what I'm going to try and do is give you specific actions, because if you don't know what the action is, you can't do it, right? Our brains don't like to... I love everybody going, this is awesome. This is amazing. Great plan. I'm words of affirmation for my love language. So anything you guys want to say about me being awesome helps me. So number one, something that you can actually do. And if you haven't done this, this is where I would start. And you're not going to like me, but talk to them on the actual phone. Okay? Ideally 5 or 10 or however many you can actually get so we can correlate some data. Oh, you guys are so sweet. The reason why is there are nuances to language that a gosh darn survey, even a quality survey, cannot get you. Because for me, I mean, I'm an interviewer, as hopefully you guys know, I can ask deeper and deeper and deeper questions. Surveys have a heck of a time asking deeper questions. You really want to get to the real pain point because sometimes people don't know. Okay. So you can ask them questions and you can do this in a day. This is also why. So if I give you a short-term thing, you will actually do it. Okay. So ask them questions like, why did you buy? What did you try before that didn't work? Right. And they say something and be like, ooh, how come? Ask deeper questions. Okay. Ooh, tell me more. Okay. Ask them what matters most to them. Is it time? Is it price? Is it something completely different? I know you guys are saying trust, but goodness, there's a lot of people that we can trust online technically. There's a lot we can't, but what are those pieces that actually matter? And is it a combination of them? Because you're going to really want to know that, especially the amalgam of your ideal client. So don't necessarily take one and be like, that was it, right? But we want to hear these patterns come up. I would also love you to ask them, what problem did you have before that you wanted to solve? Because that point is where you're actually going to get your answers from the language. So let's say you are doing a lead magnet or an opt-in, and if you can describe their problem better, and I can't remember who said this, but they said if you can describe their problem better than they can, they think you have the answer. And you know what you do? You ask them what the problem is, and then you just describe it to them again. And they're like, oh my gosh, you're a genius. Okay. All right. And I'm running behind, so I have to hurry up. Okay. So we got a lot to cover, a lot of content to cover. So the other thing is, let's say you feel like you really know your ideal customer, you're not going to hop on the phone. I implore you to hop on the phone anyway, but still. The next thing you can do is get testimonials. They build trust and credibility, just like you guys are saying, guarantees and social proof. And these are things that you can do very short term. So Nick Webb, I was just telling you about his toy company. So when they came on the market, they're like, yay, I'm a toy company. We spent a ton of money trying to get these things manufactured. Go, right? So they started building an authentic community, which we're going to get into in just a second. But they also tried to win as many awards as humanly possible. And by the time they weren't even a year old, they won 7 major awards. 7, which is ridiculously impressive. So as we were saying, like, why would they actually buy from you? Because they heard so much about how amazing you are from credible resources that it's a no-brainer. And that's what we want. We want it to be a no-brainer for these people. We don't want to be like, well, I mean, I know them, so that's easy. They find somebody online. I mean, even with my Facebook ads for this, people are like, oh my gosh, another coaching consultant with millionaire in the name. Oh, right? Judgment everywhere. So how do I get, and I don't necessarily want them, but how do I get people like that don't know me at all to trust me if they don't have that already? Anybody can make up testimonials for sure, but let's put a video on with people that someone that actually has a before and after story that looks like it's real, because it is. Okay, and have a guarantee. I have guarantees. Have a guarantee that if it doesn't work, you'll actually give them their money back. Depending, you know what I mean. They use it, not like LL Bean. LL Bean's crazy. Or social proof, where there's many, many people. This is why I do the millionaire interviews. Can you tell me 100 people that do the same thing? Okay, maybe I'll listen to you. We're just inundated with a world of not credible sources. So if we can have as much as we possibly can on the trust and credibility side, that will definitely help. So your action item, if you choose to accept it on this, everybody wants so many questions. Oh, someone said, oh my gosh, they're nuts. You are the real deal. I love your podcast. Thank you. 6 years of free content, but people don't know me, so that's fine. That's the thing. No matter how quote unquote big you are online, it doesn't matter if people come to you and go like, oh, she's just another one of those. Everybody's got their own opinions. And this is the thing, when you start going bigger and wider for your marketing message, you want to hone in. You might want to make sure that your marketing messages excludes those people, right? If you think coaches and consultants suck, I don't want you, right? That way we're really honing in and only targeting the people we want. Okay, so if you choose to accept it, talk to 5 of your customers or clients. If you can record the calls, transcribe them. It'll be easier. All right. And there's a tip for helpareporter.com for social proof. I got my first few press things from there without having any background in anything. Now it's easy. I have tons of press, but at the very beginning, I was a nobody and I used Help a Reporter out and I got on Fox News and a couple other places that I could name drop like all heck for some of this stuff. Okay. Yeah, if you don't have 5 customers, that makes it tough. If you only have 1, talk to them. They will tell you what they care about and they will help you find more customers. That's the whole point. Okay. All right. Next up, distribution. Okay. You guys are sticking with me this whole time. Okay. I said it might go a little long. I love hanging out with you and I love delivering as much as I can, but you have to do it. So I'm engaging you now. So you guys are going to have to type in the box. I see how many people are on here. So the goal with distribution is to access more people easier, ideally. Okay. Because if nobody knows about your product or service, you're not going to make any money. I think you guys already know that. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about your most popular program, sale, service, product, whatever it is. Okay. The thing that you sell most as far as an average. Oh, hey, April. So let's say it could be a $10 widget. Hopefully you're not selling widgets. It could be a $10 book. then you would need to sell 1,000 of them in order to hit 10 grand a month, right? Now, if you're, you guys are awesome. If you have $1,000 product, you'll need to sell 10. Okay, so go ahead and post in the questions box. I want you to figure it out. And if you can't do the math or you have questions, let me know. I want you to figure out how many people or companies or whatever to sell each month to hit 10K. Jerry's like, net or gross? I know, very big differences, right? Let's just deal with gross right now. But if you're already really close, then do it net. That's fine. Net is a twofold problem. You have to pay attention to expenses too. So it's up to you. 3 houses a month. Awesome. I have quite a few clients in that space. 10, 1 to 2. See, low numbers make it a lot easier. 5, 3, 7, 40. So 30 grand in products. Okay, I see what you're saying. You mean like network marketing or something like that? Okay. 56, 10, 3, recurring. Oh, yes, we will talk about recurring. Actually, we don't have enough time to talk about it. Darn. But recurring will be way easier, right, Catherine? 250, 303. Some people don't know. Okay, perfect. So some are a ton, right? And some aren't too many. And there's different distribution methods for different things for sure. And I want you to test. So what we're gonna go over is a overarching framework for this, because I can't give everybody individualized advice for this stuff at the moment. I wish I could. That would be amazing. I'm gonna create a robot that will give you all of the answers. So what Nick Webb went on to say, and I think this is amazing. I want to be a futurist when I grow up, right? So this robot will be my coaching robot. He said, what I've realized is forget a market, forget everything you thought you knew about marketing. It's an absolute waste. Marketing's out. Developing authentic relationship with engaged, meaningful communities is in. That's what we have to do, right? And you see that it's a huge trend right now. You need to find people that you know, like, and trust, and then use their recommendations. It's like getting a referral from a friend. That's way easier to be able to tap into one-to-many than to just do a bazillion postcards and just hope you hit the mark and hope people will actually pay attention to your marketing message. Because right now, advertising, I mean, you know how many ads you get hit up with, billboards, online. It's ridiculous. And we're starting to tune out so much. So the best way that we can go is to tap into people that actually have their attention. Attention is an amazing thing. So of course, what you're thinking right now probably is, okay, where can we find them? Tell me more. That's great and all, but I don't know where they are for me. So I'm going to give you a couple ideas. You guys feel free at the end to ask me whatever questions that you want. And it's not all about online stuff. There's a lot of offline things also still. It's just easier to level up the online side of things. There's associations that you can partner with. You can do free webinars for them. There's strategic partners, which has worked ridiculously well for so many of my clients. One of my clients that we were talking about her at the retreat, her goal for the 6-figure group that she's in was 300 grand for the entire year. And with tapping into other audiences, she did affiliate stuff, because that's what we fleshed out work, because Facebook ads did not work for her, by the way, because she has a very low priced thing. She has to sell a lot. I think it's like $8 as an average. She had her biggest month ever at $113,000 this month, right? It's insane what can be done. And she's been a client for 2 years. So her mindset, everything has been growing along the way also. And it's insane. Okay. So as we start going through, you're going to test this and we're going to see what works best for you. And again, feel free at the end to ask specific markets or whatever you want for recommendations on some of this stuff. But ideally, we're tapping into bigger types of things. Okay. So one of my previous coaches way back when, actually I interviewed her. Her name is Amy Applebaum. She actually did strategic partnerships because she had a brand new company with network marketing companies. So she sold 1 to a bazillion at once with one deal. Okay. So already built communities, blogs, podcasts. I know you guys have heard some of this stuff before. Amazon is amazing for distribution for some things, though the market is changing over there too. A lot of people are going into e-com kind of stuff. But the goal is to really tap into those communities and pull from there. Does that make sense to everybody? I mean, it must, right? I'm assuming it's logical. But what I want you to do for the action item, because it's one thing for me to go, here, tap into communities. And it's another thing for me to be like, oh, okay, let me tell you exactly what to do, because otherwise you're not going to do anything. So what I want you to do is I want you to think of one way that you are getting customers or clients right now. Okay, because what ideally we would love to do is level it up. Whatever that distribution channel is, I want to double it. I know I have the best job in the world. Just double it. It's fine. Now, the one thing is referrals and word of mouth is harder. I know people are going, word of mouth. Go ahead and post what yours is right now, and I can hopefully be able to help you out or give you some ideas too. Well, I should wait till the end or I'll be scolded, right? Because we're going to not finish. So referrals, word of mouth, viral contests, awesome. Referrals, you can definitely ask for more referrals and have a system for that. It's harder to do one-to-many. So I've been doing a lot of these live coaching things with Lane, and I'm like, we need to get out of just referrals. Referrals are great, don't get me wrong, and we're going to level up always. That is the first thing I would level up. So double it if you can. To make quick cash right now, anybody that's listening, just at tomorrow ask for referrals. Okay. But if we want to have something that will level up even more, which ideally what we want, so we're not reinventing the wheel every single time. Okay. I want you to choose one of those distribution channels to level up or make better. So for example, having one of my clients, Instagram influencers, reaching out to them and sending them a product works. It just does. So he was sending, I think, 30 beforehand a month. And I was like, okay, let's send out 60 to 100. Huh, what a surprise. That works. Seriously. I know this is not rocket science, people. Let's level up what works until it doesn't work anymore. I also want you to test, don't get me wrong. And that's why I gave you those ideas. There's definite things we can test. But figuring out what already works and leveling that up is times 10 the best thing. Gary said speaking gigs. I love it. All right. So I know we need to keep going. Otherwise, we'll never get through because it's almost been an hour. Okay. So what does it take to earn 10 grand a month? Literally, yes, more sales. But in order to get more sales, we do these things. So you free up your time. You have an easier marketing message. So it makes it a no-brainer. And we're distributing it to larger groups. Does that make sense to everybody so far? So you know me. Choose one action item. Just one. And I'm going to make you commit. And I wish we were right here so I could see you. This is what I do for my hustlers or my other clients. I usually, for my mastermind group, I make them sing if they don't do their actions in front of the group, which is usually enough. So go ahead and tell me, which one are you going to pick? Number one, delegation. Remember the list that we were going to make and actually start delegating. Number two, the marketing message, talking to your customers, getting at least one testimonial or put down a guarantee that won't take you very long. Oh, tons of them. Or number three, which is distribution and just either leveling up the tactic that you already have or testing one new tactic. Message, marketing message. Wow, delegation, marketing message. Oh, everybody likes the marketing message. I did spend a lot of time on that. I would love to put a better plan for a marketing message. Distribution. You guys are amazing. If you feel free to do extra credit, go ahead. But I want you to just hone in on one because I know if you don't say that you're committed to it, then you won't actually do it. Okay? And this is the thing. I want you to actually be honest with me. Right? Number one, how many people have actually paid attention to that? No, I love seeing you guys reply because I know you're actually paying attention. Thank you very much. All those other people that aren't totally listening right now, I see you. I wish I could. Because I want you to actually care. Okay? I want you to earn more and stop killing yourself making small amounts. Because I get it. It's hard and exhausting and kind of feel alone a lot of times. And why the heck would you want to keep banging your head against the wall? Right? That's dumb. You don't want to. Why would you keep doing it and working ridiculously hard and not getting any results? Okay. Oh, I'm still listening and at 3:26 a.m. in Amsterdam. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. That is commitment like all heck. So this is my question. And I need you to be honest. What are the chances you're actually going to do anything that will make a big difference right now? And either say a word or say 127% or say something, because how many other webinars have you listened to where you haven't actually done it? All right, there we go. I wish you guys could see 1,000,000% slam dunk. Somebody said 20%. You don't count. No, I'm kidding. Oh, 80-20. Doing it. Okay. That level of commitment, I'm all in. I love it. Writing it right now, which is now I made you all distracted, right? Because the thing is, and you understand this, as soon as you get off of this webinar, you're going to get distracted, put kids to bed, go to sleep for the people that it's 3:00 in the morning for. We're stuck in information overload. We don't typically have a clear goal or outcome because we are the owner and we have to make up the clear or goal or outcome. And we get distracted quite a bit, right? Or you're unsure of which direction because you've never done this before. Or you're just feeling frustrated because, my gosh, you're not going as fast as you want to. I totally get that. We're entrepreneurs. We want to go really, 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 really fast. Okay. But what I want to tell you is that it definitely can be easier. Please let it be easier. Please, no more banging your head against the wall. And I am going to tell you about what I think about hustling. We're actually on Monday going to be coming out with a podcast all about hustling because that word is very color. Well, I don't know what I'd say is the word. It's hot right now, or there's a debate. So it's called The Great Hustle Debate. Is the new podcast that's coming out on Monday. And I go over what I think is the most important thing because my group coaching program is called Millionaire Hustlers. And people were like, oh, Gary Vee says hustle all the time. And I don't think hustling's good. And you're a mom and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So my stance on this, and we'll talk about the program in just a second, but this is my stance. No, I don't think you should hustle all the time. You will burn yourself out. I am not Gary Vee. That being said, I think that we should all hustle for short periods of time. You should go all in because pushing yourself out of your comfort zone can be tough. And making a set amount of time to be able to go all in, have the support you need, and go freaking kick some butt. So that way you're in high gear, you're being ridiculously productive. That will create the momentum to get more cash in your business. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So yes, you have to hustle a bit. It's totally overused. I totally get this. This has been the name of my program for 3-4 years now. So don't get me wrong. I didn't understand way back when what it was going to become in the future, but I think it's still so important. Now I think that the topic of conversation for hustling versus not is actually more important. And I still stand behind it times 10. Okay. And maybe you're doing really, really well, but you still want to go faster. So let me tell you a little bit about, I love this part. These are the rules for people that are hustlers. And there's hustlers on here right now, so they know how hardcore I am in this. So we don't let you listen to anything. Dun, dun, dun. I don't want you to listen to my podcast anymore. I know, horrible me. So, okay, if you're working out, potentially, or if you're in a drive, potentially, but most likely no, because I don't want you to have conflicting information. I only want you to listen to me. I will tell you what to do. You only get to choose one goal. People are like, wait, what? I love your podcast. Yep. And I will tell, if you're in Hustlers, I will tell you which podcast episodes to listen to. Believe me, I was there. I know them all and I know my friends. I don't really listen to very many podcasts, but if I hear about something that I need to learn about, then I will go after podcasts and I will ask my friends for recommendations. This is just gold. Hilarious. So I also make you so mean. Remove Facebook and social from your phone. And then we have a cool little hacks and tricks to make it so that you do it on your laptop also. I want you to be as efficient and effective as humanly possible. We also have active actions. So these active actions, it's in my book. An active action is an action that actually aligns with your goal. So something you can actually do, like I was telling you about the the action items that I gave you. It has to be easy to implement on the shorter scale, but it has to align with the goal and push you outside of your comfort zone. Because that is what makes all the difference. Does that make sense? Because if you're not doing that, and here, I love this. This is a little screenshot from the book Essentialism. I wish you could see my hands. I'm trying to show you. But on the left side, you'll see that is the same amount of energy in all sorts of different directions than the same amount of energy on the right side in one direction. Okay. Focus is a word that has come up so many times. It is ridiculous from these millionaire interviews. And yet they're more likely, the people that have like ADD or bipolar or whatever the heck it is, right? I have ADD. It's harder for me to focus. I literally need someone to slap me. I have a team now that can slap me instead of just having a coach. But this is why this stuff is so important, because this is why I have great testimonials. All I do is go, stop doing that. Just do that. Okay. And of course, I'll support you in what to do on that side of things too. But I just want you to be able to see it, because it makes all the difference in the world. The reason why you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, because you look like this. Does that make sense? All right, so I'm going to give you a testimonial from Mary Catherine. She said, Millionaire Hustlers, which I'll go over in a second what it actually is, has allowed me to land more clients, make more money in the first 30 days of the program than all the previous months of the year combined. It was the first significant investment I made in myself and my business, and it was worth every penny. And that's the thing. You might be like, I don't know, right? But as you grow as a business owner, it will add up and add up and add up. And we need to make sure the foundation is solid. I think MBA programs are mostly kind of crappy. They're not actually from people that actually do businesses. Yet what they teach, the point of it is good. So you need those foundation things. It's just, where do we get those now? It's all social media this, marketing that, okay? So this is what Hustlers, the features of Hustlers, not the benefits. I think I'm going to go over a lot more of the benefits, but I think you get part of them. We do live website reviews where you can submit your site and I tell you exactly what to change. Okay? It will actually increase your conversions. A lot of the things I do are sales funnels, conversion rates, all sorts of that fun stuff, especially with my one-on-one clients, and use that knowledge to make it better so you can actually submit your site for a live website review. We have 10 weekly live Q&A group coaching calls with me. On those calls, I go, did you get all of your active actions done? And then I see your responses and I call you out and I will make you sing if it's too bad for 2 weeks in a row. Okay? You better show up to those, because then we bug you if you don't. Now, I just really care. I personally don't like $2,000 digital programs that nobody ever opens or does anything with. I'm not saying it's bad content. I'm just saying I know you because I am you. Okay? You won't actually do it. And what I care about most is you doing those small things, those 80-20 things that will make all the difference in the world. Plus, we'll have 2 sessions of Ask a Real Millionaire Anything. So we'll do live and Q&As. We've done tons of these. And some of the guys that I have on, or girls and guys, are amazing. They'll give out their cell phone numbers and their email addresses. I'm like, guys, don't do that. Bad idea. Don't do that. But they care too, right? They want to see you succeed also. So one of the best questions I ever hear from somebody going over that stuff is, what would you do if you were me? Best thing to ask a millionaire ever. Now, we don't have the names yet because I usually let everybody on board under the program and then I pick the best ones. So thankfully, I have so many friends that I can call in so many favors for. So if quite a few of you guys are in service-based web side of things, I'll call in one of those guys. Or if it's something else, I'll call in one of those guys, right? I'll make sure they're extremely fruitful for this group. And of course, you have a real community of real amazing human beings. You guys are eventual millionaires. If you're on this, that means I like you. No, okay. If you're on this, that means you actually care about growth, right? And doing it the best possible way that you can. My people, I think, are the most amazing people in the world. And it's not just my opinion. We had that retreat last week with a bunch of our 6-figure mastermind guys here in Austin. And people, the experts that we brought in, were like, man, your people are amazing. I just want to go have a drink with them. I'm like, I know, they're amazing. And a lot of times we'll actually form mastermind groups, or they'll stay connected. We have an alumni group, right? Plus, of course, we have weekly active actions and moderators. So we have the accountability. Plus, we have actual modules that are 80-20'd. And we'll go over some of these right now. If you have any questions too, definitely let me know as we're going through. But this is a very similar a very similar model to what I have for my 6-figure guys. We just have a lot more system side of things. Right now, you don't have the capacity to do a ton of them. So we only have a little bits and pieces of that. But as soon as we can hire more people, we can do a lot more systems. So what we're focused on a lot is, number 1, working on your time. Because if we can get that time back, you can do so much more and focus on the right things. Okay, so week 1 is let's see how much time we can scoop back up. And these are all from successful millionaires. We've done this so many times before. You will save so much time. It's crazy. And then we can put back in that little empty space what matters most. Okay, so visualization, which I thought was woo-woo and crazy beforehand, has now been pounded into my brain from billionaires. So we talk about the science behind that. We talk about exactly what that goal needs to look like. And you guys can ask me, of course, if you have any questions on what your goal is. Where to actually hone in on your ideal avatar and how to test that better, right? Especially if you don't know what that is yet. How to separate yourself in a crowded market, which is that key differentiator, but times 10. Okay, so you guys are kind of good at it, but I'm sure I can help you refine it as we're going through. As we go through the rest of these, there's prospecting. There's a whole thing on selling. I thought selling was stupid way back when. I hated it. Now I absolutely adore it, and that's one of the ways to make more money. If you've heard me talk to Lane, it's definitely a thing that I love to give advice on. Along with leads and how to do lead magnets and that sort of stuff. This is all in there also, so don't get me wrong. But again, I'm adding those on top of everything else. Okay, because it is not just a tactic thing. It is a foundational and tactic thing, right? Once you figure out the tactics that work, then it's better. So hustlers in general, when we go through how much each one of them is worth, right? My time, my coaching is a lot. I'm looking at this. We didn't update this one. We're going to have to update that one better because we have a live website review. So we'll go over that one too. But the millionaire Q&A sessions, these guys charge so much money. It's insane, right? Even just the accountability. This is real values. $300 a month is what you pay for like an accountability coach, which is what we've got in the group. Okay. 9 live sessions. Well, we actually have 10, but I'm charging over $1,500 an hour now. So in general, when we look at what that is, use me. I'm really good at this. This is Jason. Jason is amazing. He's actually my Millionaire Masters too. A lot of the guys from Hustlers, guys and females from Hustlers, graduate, quote unquote, to move into the mastermind that we've got. So he said, in 90 days, Millionaire Hustlers took my biz from making $98.72 to over $20K plus. Now, this was a while ago that he did this testimonial. He recently had his best month ever, and it is a lot more than 20 grand a month, just so you guys know. But what he said, he goes, I felt incredibly inspired by the community aspect. Watching fellow hustlers chase their goals, hit them, and share their wins inspired me to keep hustling too. Okay. So plus we kept him very, very accountable and Jason's amazing. All right. So like I said, working on one-on-one with me is $1,500 an hour, which is totally insane. I totally understand. And it's totally worth it because I make them so much more. But I asked for a 6-month commitment. I know you guys can't do that. I remember at the beginning, there's no way in heck, right? 18 to 30 grand? No way. You should definitely not mortgage your house for this. Sorry, but you shouldn't. I mean, I'm good, but no. Because what I want you to do is 10x. So wherever you are, I really, really, really want you to 10x whatever the thing is that you've spent for, right? So if my guys spent $18,000 to $30,000, they need to make 180 to 300,000 bottom line, ideally, but definitely top line, in order to make sure that I delivered enough value, right? It's just a thing that I have. It's kind of an issue of mine. People are like, you don't have to do 10. I'm like, yeah, I know, I have a thing. Okay. And so that's my goal every single time. So when we're looking at this, I know at the beginning, you don't have that much. But what I want to do is, and this is why we have a payment plan, I want you to be able to go, you know what? I'm going to make an investment in myself, and I know it's going to pay dividends 3 months, definitely. I actually do a program called 7 Days to 1K, and people make 1K in a week. Of course, if you gave me 3 months, I could help you make a lot more. But the goal is to have it be $1,297 paid in full, or $447 a month for 3 months. Okay. And you can check it out at millionairehustlers.com. You can actually go look at more testimonials and more nitty gritty on what everything is. That way you can actually understand the program. Because I don't want anyone joining that's like, I'm not sure, right? We're going to go through more pieces and parts of this, but I want to make sure that you are super clear. And also know, just like I told you tonight during the webinar, I have a guarantee. There's no way. I can't sleep at night if I were one of these guys just selling crap and being like, oh, too bad, you gave me the money, right? Now, that being said, it's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Like, be in the program, show up, right? I want you to actually do it. But if you don't think it works, definitely will give you your money back. There's no way in heck that I would want anybody unhappy. This is what I tell a lot of my clients in general. If you show up and you're doing the work and you're not seeing it, I'll give you your money back and you can stay in the program. That's actually happened before. They're like, well, I can't get it. I'm like, I can make this work. I don't care about the money. I can make this work. I'm not saying that we're totally going to do that every time, but I'm just saying that I care so much. There's no way in heck I don't want you to be successful. So if you show up and you show me that you're willing to do the work, we'll make it work. Does that make sense? So my goal for you, if you pay $1,300 for this, is at least 13,000 more, at least, right? But 10 grand a month, and ideally over the long haul, so much more. Again, this is an investment right now over where you are now, but let alone where you're going to be in a year or 2 years or 3 years. You get lifetime access to the content. And it's funny, somebody the other day was like, oh, I went through it all again, right? This stuff comes up over and over and over again, and it will build your business at 6 figures, at 7 figures. By then, you'll have so much money, you'll pay me for more coaching and I'll make you even more. But at this point, I know you can't. So let's get the foundation settled as best we possibly can. Okay. And I'll go on tangents here. So let me make sure I stick with the slides. So let's go through some past members because testimonials are extremely important. So you can go to millionairehustlers.com and read quite a few of them also. But I love this stuff. So this is Jen. You can check her out at jentgrace.com. She said, within the first 8 weeks of the program, I'd seen almost a 40% increase in monthly income as a result of switching to the way I see things, especially for sales. So she had an issue, just like a lot of people have. They have to be some skeezy person in order to do sales. Well, I remember giving this advice to Jen, being like, no, because I used to work at Kirby Vacuum Cleaner. Oh yeah, I hated sales for a long time. But what she was doing is she was holding herself back because she didn't want to be one of those skeezy salesperson. So I gave her tips on how to actually close the deal and hold herself accountable, and it helped so much. She said, I don't know what I was expecting as the end result of the program, but for me, certainly didn't think by 2/3 of the way through that I'd already increased my revenue by 40%. And what's so funny is it's a lot of the times it's small tweaks, guys. Small tweaks. Oh, we have a bunch of questions coming. Got my card out. Good, Rod. All right. I'm not looking at the people coming in on the sales side because I'm too busy trying to chat and see all these questions. Yes. Do I need a minimum of clients? Yes. So we'll talk about it and we can always have you guys ask questions at the end. But usually we say 5 to 10 clients. But let me tell you a little bit more about Jen, because I forgot about this slide. So Jen then updated us later after Hustlers and said, I have a big win to share. I was just talking to my accountant as of the end of September. I made 45% more than all of last year combined. I owe so much to Hustlers. And then she posted again. This is in January. She goes, I wanted to chime in one big last woot for Jamie and Hustlers. All the hustling from last year's paid off big. Within the last few days, I've secured business totaling more than I grossed all of last year, and it's January 12th. All the hustling opportunities I built last year are finally coming around. So the thing is that you're seeding stuff too. So it's not just what you make in those only 3 months, right? We're seeding as much as we can. So the next few months, even after that, is going to be huge. I want you to hit your 2017 goal. But I also want you to hit your 2018 goal. Okay, so seeding everything for then is going to make a huge difference. This is one of our Small Wins Wednesday posts where we actually want people to pay attention to the small stuff. Sometimes it's small, sometimes it's not. So for David here, he's amazing. And I told him on one of the Q&As, you have to go get a guest post over here because he was looking to build his email list. And we gave him a template article. And he's like, by the way, I just confirmed my first blog guest post. I was like, from Monday to Wednesday, you already have it? This is what's crazy. Things don't take nearly as long as you thought. Lane got 2, a Success Magazine and an Entrepreneur Magazine articles said yes to in 2 days when she started pitching. Simone underneath here said, I secured a new client for $2,800 a month. Awesome. Aww. So I'm sure so many questions coming in. Don't worry, I will go through and make sure we hit all of them. I know we're running a little bit long. Thank you guys for sticking with me. But again, like I said at the end, you guys can ask me whatever you want, whether it be about Hustlers or about anything else. Assuming my kiddos are in bed, I have all night. No, kidding. So Kate said, Small Win Tuesday. Number 1, goal achieved. New client signed up on a new business model. Totally needed every ounce of nerve-wracking challenges you've given. Oh, by the way, I give challenges also. Because we need it, right? Pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone makes a big difference. especially when you have friends, or especially if you're competitive, because we will use that against you as much as humanly possible. For you, I should say, for you. So this is where I talk about that the course really is not for everyone, for sure. If you don't have a business yet, feel free to email us. The email address will be up here in a minute, and we will give you a referral to somebody that helps you start businesses, or at least my book talks all about that too, so you should definitely read that. But sometimes I know you need the actual hand holding a little bit more. It's for people that are ready also. Okay. It's the people that are ready to go all in and be like, okay, I'm doing it. Right. Put in the work. So that way later we're going to have this all set up and ready to go. My gold, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of money, but my gold is the testimonials that you guys are going to have later. Okay. All right. So let's go over this really quick, and then we will start and go into the Q&A. Oh, and I think the next slide here, let me go over this really quick. And then the next slide has the 10K kit. So go to millionairehustlers.com if you want to lock in your seat. Pick your payment option, right? You can pay in full or not. You just save a little bit of money if you pay in full. After that, you can also see those VIP upgrade options. I saw people asking about one-on-one coaching. I never do one-off like 30-minute session kind of things, but you can actually just buy that also separately if you want some help. Then you're redirected and you get into the Facebook group. We add you to the weekly webinars. You're in the membership site already, right? And group coaching, because again, these are live, start September 11th. So you'll have an extra week in with me and the Facebook group people. So that way we can have everything all set up and ready to go. All right. So I know we got a ton of questions and I could not field them all. You guys are so awesome. Don't be shy. Feel free to ask me whatever you want. Oh my goodness, so many people. All right. So go to millionairehustlers.com. You'll actually see all the information on the sales page with more. So hopefully you can find the answer there. But if you cannot, I will definitely answer them as we go. You emailed me the questions. Oh, hold on, Leilani. Let me go to the questions. All right. Oh my gosh, there's so many. It's a very long email. Okay, great. When does it start? Okay. Well, you can get in now, right? So as soon as you sign up, you can actually go into the Facebook group and everything. The live calls do not start until September 11th, which is a Monday. And what we'll do is the content technically starts then too. So week 1, we have a whole accountability program within it also. So if it takes you too long to do the homework, you get one extension, but otherwise, otherwise we know. So that all starts on that week also. So I think that's Sunday. So between that and now, the meantime, you can definitely go into the membership site and everything is open. It's not like you have to wait for a drip feed. It's all open. So if you really want to go and get the first level of being productive right this second or tomorrow, because it's Thursday and you can keep working as hard as you possibly can in this next week and already hit 10,000, then you can go ahead and do that too. Or if you want to settle up on your goal, or if you want to skip around, you can totally do that. All right, let's see. There's so many questions. What if I'm already in 3 businesses, which I started without focus, but can't shut them all off now? This is when you need a question and answer session with me, because I will tell you which ones to shut down. 80-20, right? You could do all 3. And this is one of the best things that I'd ever heard from a millionaire. He goes, guess what? Company A is only doing your one, right? Doing A, the one product that you're selling. Company B is only doing 1. Company C is only doing 1. So you now have 33% less power, right? Time, money, resources, that sort of stuff to put into your businesses. Which one do you think is going to win? You think your competitor that has 100% is going to win, or you think you that you have 33% is going to win? Now, if you're a huge company, this is different, but most likely you're not. So I have told people to stop podcasting before. I've told people to quit businesses, told people to sell businesses. I'll be completely honest on what I think is what you need. Okay. But it's way too much that we can get into right now. Let's see. I do suffer from a very intense case of squirrel syndrome, though. So here's to hoping I'm not jumping into a series of webinars and courses instead of getting these out. Oh, you will. We don't want you in the Facebook group. To tell you the truth, like what's so funny is I only want it to be fruitful. We'll tell people they're not even allowed to put resources in there. If you need a resource, you ask for it. You're not supposed to just post random, fun, interesting things. No, we don't need that. We're entrepreneurs, okay? All right. You can keep asking questions. Oh, I'm grateful. Oh, I never stay to the end of webinars. Actually, I rarely get on webinars. You're awesome, Alan. Thank you so much. I don't either, unless it's really, really worth it. Gary Keller is one of those guys where I went to a seminar and I was like, wow, he's actually really good. Most aren't. All right, what's your opinion? There's so many questions. What's your opinion on sales funnels? Okay, that's a whole can of worms. We're going to talk about hustlers really quick first, and then we'll start going down the business question can of worms. Sales funnels work ridiculously well for certain businesses, but it really depends, and you're going to hate that. But how many people are in the program at one time? It depends. I mean, we've had up to 100 people, but I capped it at 100 then. I don't think we're even going to try to get 100 at this point. That's a lot. Because we do go all in. Definitely all in. Can we get a selfie with you? That makes me feel like a celebrity, so thank you. I remember going to conferences being like, you really want a picture with me? That's awesome. Perfect. All right. There's so many questions, Leilani. I can't organize these and read them all at the same time. What are active actions? So an active action is something that you actually post in the group, and you can post 3 to 5, and it's your most important task for the week. The things that will really make all the difference. So it'll be way easier once you're in the program, you'll understand. But you'll break up your goal. So let's say your goal is $10,000 a month. And you're like, oh, but I need 7 new clients every single month. Or I need to figure out a way to get them recurring. So what we would do is we would break that down and figure out what those actions are that are most important. So let's say, I know somebody said, oh, but I'm not getting quotes out. Well, then your goal is a certain number of quotes out per month or per week or per day. That way, that's what we're judging you on, because that's the stuff that really matters. That's the stuff that's hard to stay accountable to. Does that make sense? So those actions that you're creating are, how do I get those quotes out better, faster? Okay, so normally we just level up what's already working as best we can, but then I can give you specific advice on trying to do more of those. Okay, and there's a lot of that in the course content for sure. But some of it is like going and getting 3 speaking gigs, which means I have to send out this many emails, right? Trying to get testimonials, maybe you're writing a book and you need, what are they called? The little blurbs, right? So my friend, I was teaching him how to do that. And it's a little nerve-wracking at first. I remember emailing Seth Godin being like, I don't know if he's going to write back. Or those things that make you go, oh no, right? Oh my gosh, there's so many. Okay. I started my business 1 month ago. Is this program for me, or is it the right timing? I would actually email us. It depends. If you have a lot of experience otherwise, then yes. So if you've been in sales and marketing, or if depending on what the background of your business is, or how good you're doing that first month, then yes. Otherwise, potentially not. But email, and you can actually see right here. And Leilani will, if you have questions, she'll email you, she'll forward it to me, I'll answer your questions. I only want people that are all in, okay, that actually are all in, because it's so much easier to coach you. We only want people that are like, oh my gosh, yes, this is the way to go. Okay, all right, there's so many questions. Aw, and so many nice things. I just joined, says Rod. I should go check my thing. Aww. I feel like such a freeloader. I'm not in a position to buy it this time. Being in a position to join your program is on my bucket list, though. I'll be in touch. You know what? I love that you said that, right? Because you will. And this is the funny thing. Everybody that was in Hustlers beforehand is like, I can't wait to be a Millionaire Masters. And then they're like, I can't wait to be on your show. And having that trajectory is hugely important. I agree. Do what you can now with the free stuff. I am not going to be at PM 18. Didn't it already happen? Oh my goodness. Oh, a recruiting firm. Oh, Sean, I love it. My best friend has a recruiting firm, and we were just going over this, and I've had a couple clients in similar spaces. So a funnel can work. It just has to be done. A funnel can work on both sides, to tell you the truth, but it just has to be done in a certain way. It's not wham bam, put up some things usually in general. Oh, someone said the sound is super fuzzy. Sorry, guys. I had to rework my setup over here, and I don't think that I did a great job on it. Aw. All right. What else? And Leilani, feel free to text me, because going through this and going through this is a lot. Oh, I just joined. Yay, sweet. Can I give you my Amex card? That's cute. Don't do it over the chat. We'll definitely get a hold of you. Okay. Everything I'm doing with Lane is amazing. All right. And you probably could be emailing. You're totally probably emailing me, Leilani, too, and I'm not even taking a look. Okay, so how can I delegate when I don't have a system in place yet? So delegation on and we're going back through some of these just so I can make sure I cover all of them. It's not like you have to have a whole crazy nutso system. Or if you mean project management system, it's going to be a little bit different. But what I would do for you is just delegate small tasks. Don't worry about that at the moment. Just try and delegate really small things, outsource. Okay, that's why Fancy Hands is kind of good. Be like, oh, you know what? I should do all my research. I don't want to do research anymore. Okay, and then you can go ahead and go, oh, we're going to create this. We're going to tell them to do this. And then once you do it once or twice or 3 times, you'll be able to create a simple system out of it. We're not going crazy nutso on systems when you're really going after a specific money side of things. Because it is a distraction. Because if you create a system and an SOP and you don't use it, then it was a waste of time. Ooh, somebody wants the slides. I don't know that I was going to send out slides. Leilani, maybe we can send out the slides. Let's see. Cool. So a bunch of people are sending emails. Is it smart to hire someone for sales? That really depends. Best Friends Recruiting Company is a sales company, and it really depends. I would highly recommend you getting much better at sales first so you can actually teach people. Because just because someone's really good at sales doesn't mean that they know your avatar, and that's going to take a little while anyway. Ooh, what if you're international? So that's the thing with Hustlers. We do have them live, and you could submit everything or videos at any time. So if you have any questions as we're going through, either in the Facebook group, you can post a video. I'd actually prefer you to post a video because I'm sure it's out of your comfort zone. but I'll post a video back. Okay, so even if you're international and you're like, oh man, that time is tough for me, 8:30 at night Central, or I'm sorry, 8:30 at night Eastern time on Mondays. If that's tough for you, we'll make sure it works. We've had people from all over in it in general. Okay, so we just are way more active in the Facebook group with the accountability coach, with asking questions and that sort of thing. And you'll submit your questions and I'll answer them on the Q&A. Ideal customer, this is my pain. I've created the avatar 5 times already. This is why you need to ask somebody for help. So yes, there's 1,000 different podcasts about creating your ideal avatar. But when you look at it and you go, oh, how do I actually do it? There's a system for testing it that I don't think a lot of people talk about. Right? Because it's less about, oh, I'm just going to do a little worksheet and be like, hey, that's my avatar. It's another thing of testing it and being like, oh, did that actually work? What did they say? Is this avatar going to be easier than that avatar? So Alan goes, so you talk about getting rid of Facebook on your phone. What if I don't get distracted by the feed, but it's my main marketing tool? Okay. Number one, you can't tell me that you don't get distracted at all. Okay. Number two, if the feed is the main marketing tool, that's one thing. Because don't get me wrong, I use Facebook all the time. All the time. My group is in Facebook. There's a messenger for Facebook. There's a group app for Facebook. I delete Facebook off of my phone specifically. Only for short periods of time. I don't do it forever. And then within it, we can also have the website, and we use something called Newsfeed Eradicator, or it depends on which plugin you want to use, but it takes off your newsfeed. Okay. Now, I'm not saying, Alan, you can't go on this is the hack that everybody does, which don't do. You can go on your Safari and log into Facebook if you really, really want to. It's a pain in the butt. So you do it a lot less. Okay. The point is to not have your mindlessly get distracted. And the way we remove those makes all the difference in the world. I would make you test it for at least a week, but no excuses, because you can get on everything. Everything without having Facebook on your phone, pretty much. Angel's like, oh, I really want to join, but I have to clearly identify my ideal customer. That's exactly what I help you with, just so you know. It's really hard. I understand how hard it is to do on your own, especially when you don't have experience in it, because you're literally going to be going, I think it's this, I think it's that. And she just said she found me because of John Lee Dumas. I helped him finally take action. Yep, I had to whip him too. And look where he is now. Come on, people. I didn't even say his testimonial. Ooh, Gary, yes. I'm so excited. You have no idea. Even previous clients are joining. We've got Hustler alumni joining and stuff like that too. You guys are awesome. Oh, Patricia. You're working a bazillion hours as a temporary executive director for not-for-profit at the moment, but you know what's funny? The time piece of the program will probably help you with that. But and the hiring piece, anyway, I totally understand. That's the other thing, guys. I don't know when I'm ever going to relaunch Hustlers. That's what I said last time. It was a year. I don't know that I'm going to do it as a yearly thing anyway. But we've had hustlers sign up over and over and over again. We have an alumni rate because they love going, Jamie, what do I do now? And then I tell them. We meet live for the class actually on GoToWebinar. We might, I don't know if we'll try Zoom this time. We usually use Zoom a lot for the Millionaire Masters calls. Depending on how many people are in this time, I think we'll stick with GoToWebinar. It's really stable. Zoom is kind of annoying, especially if you have slower internet, especially with tons of people. My problem is I don't know how to approach prospects. Ooh, yes. Can I find help with the group to? Yes, of course. Oh my gosh. Heck yes. I do this all day long. What are the cold email scripts? If we cold email, what do we post here? I've saved so many templates and scripts and all sorts of stuff. If you're not clear on your offer or not getting sales, should I focus on getting people on the phone or do a webinar? I suggest doing a beta. A beta is a program that's actually in Millionaire Hustlers 2 to create a new offer. And this is sort of a side note just because everybody needed it and a bunch of my guys have used it before. So I recorded videos for it. Don't do a webinar because you won't get any feedback. You literally will have no idea why they didn't buy. Even if you send out an email, when you look at the numbers of things, let's say even if you got 100 people on your webinar, right? Even if you got 100 people show up live with show up rates being way lower than they used to be, right? Thank you guys for showing up because they're way lower than they used to be. They used to be like 50, 60%. Now they go crazy depending on the niche. And so the problem is that statistically, and one of my clients is a data analysis person that's crushing it with a membership website. But 100 isn't even statistically significant. So even if you had 100 live, which would take a lot, if you sold 0, you'd be like, I don't know. If you sold 1, that's not enough. We still don't even know. Okay. So I would totally times 100 hop on the phone with them. Okay. Try and sell them 1-to-1 and create a beta program. So you probably sell 5, 10, 15, depending on how many you can. And do that first because you'll get the feedback because you try and sell them and they'll be like, well, and they'll have objections. That's the stuff you put in your pitch at the end of a webinar once you've sold a bunch of them. How to create a community when it's psychotherapy. People cannot post in Australia because it breaks their confidentiality. That's a great question. One of my clients actually teaches how to do business in the therapy niche. I'm going to ask him because, so I agree, there's a lot of different industries, financial services, doctors, blah, blah, that have a bunch of confidentiality kind of stuff. Here in the States, if you call it a group coaching program, so let's say they're not one-on-ones right now, but you call it a group coaching program, you can do different things. That's how people kind of get around it around here. But that sucks for you because you don't want to lose your license. So that is a little bit of a catch-22. I might add that as like a side note, like just do introductions together or something, because it is tough. Though I know I'm sure you've probably done group programs and stuff like that too. Is there a certain program to recommend making and posting videos? It depends. I'm on a Mac. I use ScreenFlow, but that's only when I'm recording on my own. Loom I use is a new one that I've used and a bunch of my clients have been using to do short ones, especially when we're sending them to people. For posting, we want to make sure that the quality's better, but it really depends. Camtasia is one for PC, by the way. All right, there's so many. still. Yeah, Leilani, if there's any left, I think I'm doing a pretty good job. I think so far we've gotten quite a few. Oh, I love how you guys are all chatting together too. Not that you can read each other's, but someone's like, you could do a webinar to an application, no pricing, and connect to a survey. Yeah. And actually, you know what you could do? Oh, the person that was in the psychotherapy niche, you could do a group webinar and have them talk to each other, and then you sort of read it so it's anonymous. That might be an idea too. It would be more likely live than not, though. Thank you guys. I know we're going to start wrapping up. I can't find a link to make the payment. If you go to millionairehustlers.com, it should be right there. You can either click up at the top, it says join now, and it will take you all the way down. You guys are awesome. There's so many of you still on. And otherwise, it's down at the bottom, and you can click on the payment plan, or you can click on the pay in full. Please let me know if you received any of my 3 payments. Oh no. If there's tech issues, hopefully Leilani can take a look at that. I don't know what's come in and what hasn't. Aw, so many issues. I received a text saying, okay, Leilani, don't worry. Leilani will contact you. If there's any issues, we will get you in. Don't you worry. Could you just use Slack for the group? Yeah, you probably could. That's actually a great idea, Ray. Because they can use whatever they want for a nickname. Oh, that's what I remember my client saying, that he has them make up a name. But if you already have a Facebook account, it's kind of annoying. Do you guys have any final questions? I think I just like hanging out with you guys. Good. Yes. If you have any questions, email us. Okay. Email us. We are here all week. We're doing another live webinar on Friday. Feel free to invite your friends. We'll definitely try and get a replay out as soon as we can also, but it probably won't be till like Saturday or so. And if you guys have any questions at all, again, I want you 100% happy as best we can. And I know I can help you. And so if you go to millionairehustlers.com, I think there's a contact at Eventual Millionaire. You can actually click on the link and send us an email too. So if you have any questions that are like, I don't know, just ask. And we're here for you either way. I would love to join, but I don't have the cash. What are quick tips on getting cash so I can join? That's why when we've launched it in the past, we do 7 days to 1K. So people will earn that $1,000 in 7 days. So I think, and I'm going to have to actually go and check the link. I think you can actually, it's not live. So you won't actually get me in the group, because when we launch it live. It's different. But let me see. And Leilani, maybe you can check. I think it's eventualmillionaire.com/7 days 1K. Could be wrong. We can follow up with you. For anybody that's like, I don't have the cash right now. I don't know the link. This is why we have SOPs with links, so that way Jamie doesn't have to remember these things. But yeah, we have that, and I can send it to you, Susie, so that way you can at least start somewhere for sure. It doesn't have me in it. It's just 7 days worth of content, which is going to be helpful for you to try and level up so you can do that. Because we're not, like I said, we're not starting live until September 11th. So you have a good solid 7 days ready to go. That's what I used to say anyway. So try and make $1,300. You could do it in the next week. You'd be all set, or at least 447. And then you get in the program. I can help you make more. I love you guys. I so appreciate you, by the way. And I'm so excited to work with all the guys that just joined. You are amazing. Okay. Denise is still on too. I love you guys. Let me know if you need anything. I'm here for you. I hope you understand that. Even though normally with the podcast, it is a 1-to-1 kind of thing, I can't actually talk to you. Being able to hear feedback from you guys is fantastic. So let me know if you need anything. Check out millionairehustlers.com or shoot us an email, and we're here to help. Okay. Have a fantastic night and start hustling. Take care, guys. Bye.